Being in business and being a parent is probably one of the hardest things to maintain and balance. Kids want to play and you feel guilty. Let me show you how I create a happy balance for my children. Welcome to Your Strategic Partner podcast, where we give entrepreneurs the secrets, strategies, and processes to increase brand equity and max out revenue. Oh my goodness, episode 10. Yes, we're in the double digits now, and I am so excited that you are spending this time with me to learn about parenting. Now, I'm not a perfect dad by any means. I am not telling you how to do or live your life with your kids, but I do know one thing: the guilt of working to provide and creating leverage and creating residual income and creating that generational wealth that your kids might not understand how hard and why you are working so hard is at times the guilt that will push you to cancel meetings or not be present in your business events. And today I want to talk to you strategically about how to create a happy entrepreneurial life without compromising your relationship with your kids, for that matter. So Ali Mehdaoui here, your strategic partner. If this is your very first time chiming in, we appreciate you and thank you. And feel free to grab all the gifts that we have in the comment section, because there's literally a lot of giveaways that I give all the time. Most people don't bother reading on the comments. So check it out for yourself. So let's talk about it. I've been in business, and I'm considering myself one of the hardest working people that I know. And I take pride in that. I love the idea of getting down and dirty, going in the office and getting on meetings, getting on Zoom events all day long. I love creating content. I love shooting videos. I love recording this podcast. And I take pride on making sure that I deliver the best that I can possibly deliver. And I'm very, very, very critical of myself. And I have a team that works with me, that I have responsibilities to, that I got to make sure that they are getting the best of what they can get out of me. And along with that, I am a husband to my wife, and I am a father to my son and soon to be daughter as well, Isabel. Now that I think about it, this is the last episode I'm recording before I get to meet our daughter, which, by the way, baby girl, when you hear this and see this and not sure where you're going to be in your life, but I want you to know Daddy loves you so much, and all I'm doing is for you and your brother. I can't believe I just said that. That was awesome. All right, so let's talk about the very basic principle of making sure you don't get into a mess. And there are two pieces to that. The very first one is prioritizing. Are you prioritizing your activities? Now, when I say prioritizing, sometimes people just think business. No, I'm talking about God, family, and business. Do you actually take the time and take care of your spiritual health? And I'm not trying to force my faith or beliefs on anybody. I'm just sharing with you my experience. So do you take the time to work on your spiritual health, to make sure that you maintain a healthy outlook on life, to make sure that your positive view on life is very healthy, happy, and filled with hope, filled with positivity, because that's what a spiritually healthy person does. If not, you're going to be on an angry side of life and seeing the bad in people all the time. So I highly, highly recommend that you work on that. The next thing that you want to prioritize is your family. Are your family affairs in order? And I'm talking about whether they're financial side of things, whether they're communication, whether playtime, whatever it may be. Are they in order? You have to make sure that you are prioritizing what are the activities that lead into exactly my family's well-being as well. And then last but not least, business. What are the priorities that are income producing activities for your business, and what is actually just hurting you and hurting your business itself? Because being on social media and scrolling all day is not business building. Watching a documentary is not business building. Only income producing activity that generate revenue are income producing activities. And we'll dig into that in a little bit. So are your priorities in order? Or are you watching more Netflix than working your business? Or are you doing the things that you just find yourself wasting your time with throughout the whole day? These are things that are going to help you or totally compromise your relationship with your family. And yes, I'm talking about spirituality, and business will compromise your relationship with your family. See, one thing that I do know is if you are in a happy, healthy state of mind and spiritually positive, I promise you with everything that's within me, you're going to do everything right, not only within your business, but within your family time. Making sure that you are the best version of yourself is the number one reason you're going to be a good dad, a good husband, a good wife, a good brother, sister, business operator, whatever the relationship is at stake. So make sure that those priorities are in order. Now, the second part to that is time blocking. See, time blocking is not scheduling events. Time blocking is I'm going to block 2 hours of prospecting. Now, when I'm doing that, there is absolutely no one who's going to walk into my office. My phone is shut off. Notifications are turned off. I don't have my Facebook notifications that are nudging me on the side. If I am working and prospecting via Messenger, I don't respond to anyone who's answering me on the spot because I time blocked so I can reach out to people, so I can create engagement, so I can create conversations. If I'm time blocking so I can record this podcast, same exact thing. My phone is away. I don't even know where my phone is. And guess what? I am focused on this very same activity because the task must be done in order for me to move on to the next thing. So are you time blocking? And when I say time blocking, I'm talking in a radical way. Nothing and no one is to interfere with that activity for the time that I've blocked it for, including a nap. I'm dead serious. I time block for a nap as well. So you have to make sure that you are time blocking for all those activities. Now, time blocking within the priorities. Remember, I talked about the priorities that you have, God, family, and then business, and what are those priorities. And based on the list of priorities that you have, that's what you're going to say, okay, in my day, these are the things that must go first on my calendar, and I'm going to time block. Everything else is optional. Everything else is flexible. Everything else is secondary. If you don't have that radical, strong way of handling this operation that I just shared with you right now, you are going to cut yourself some slack. You are going to find yourself saying, well, it's not really a big deal. I'm not really too worried about it. I can do it tomorrow. And you start compromising not only your business, but also your family time. I am not perfect, and I still fall into the trap of compromising my business sometimes or family time. Now, I do a lot better now than I was or used to before I started time blocking and prioritizing. But what I will tell you is this, and I promise you with everything that's within me, if you do not do what I just shared with you right now, you're not going to give 100% of your effort when you are focused on business, and you're not going to give yourself 100% to your kids' time. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever found yourself sitting with your child and the child says, Dad or Mom, can you put your phone away and play with me? Oh my goodness. There's nothing more challenging, more frustrating, more guilty of a feeling that can be created than that very same moment. And here is why. You didn't time block the time to play with your child. You just decided, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to work and respond to emails while I'm sitting next to my child. And the child notices. And it absolutely impacts that relationship growing up. Where the child, when they're grown enough and they have their own device, they're ignoring you now. They're playing with their phone in their hand the whole time. So by default, the child is thinking, oh, this is the way it's supposed to be. This is the norm. And when you start saying, can you put your phone away? We're on the table already. Where do you think your child learned that? Your child learned that 100% from you. So time blocking for your personal time with your kids and for your business time is imperative, 100% important, non-negotiable. You must be non-negotiable. Now for this, you need an accountability partner. There's no one better than your spouse. Oh my goodness. My wife loves to tell me, I thought you were going to put your phone away. And guess what? I don't blame her because I asked for that accountability. I'm guilty of it. I am so passionate about my business that I would try to carry it with me everywhere I go. On the weekends, when I decide 3:30, 4 o'clock, my work day is over, guess what I do? I delete those applications, or at the very least turn off the notifications. Do that and watch the magic happen. You're going to find yourself at peace, focused, present, available for your children. Playtime is playtime, just like business time is business time. And what's interesting, the more I do that with my son and soon to be daughter, the more my son is understandable. My son knows when it's time for a meeting, it's meeting time. My son knows if I'm answering on the phone and there is FaceTime, I'm talking to somebody about business, he'll whisper the whole time because he knows when dad is done, oh, he's going to come and we're going to play. And you better believe we're going to play. So what are you doing? How are you prioritizing your life? Because if you're saying, oh, I got to go burn both ends of the candle and I got to go all in, that's good. But don't forget why you're doing it in the first place. Don't put yourself in a circumstance or a situation where you are working extremely hard but compromising the time to spend with your kids, because they will remember that. I remember when my father used to always be missing. My father would go on a travel for business 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row. And I remember that vividly. I remember when I used to be in theater and my family wouldn't show up, whether it was for business or work or whatever the case. I remember that, and it bothered me. It still bothers me. I still wondered, why couldn't they put me as a priority over the business? Now, as a grown-up, you empathize. My parents didn't know better. They did the best they could. They might not have had the resources or the money to take the time off. I get it. But that's a fuel to me right now to make sure that I don't do the same thing to our son as my parents have done to me. Not in any malice, not in any negative way. They just didn't know any better. So prioritize and time block. The more you find yourself doing that, and I promise you this, the more you're going to find happiness, joy, eliminate arguments with the family, arguments with the spouse, and the family will support you even more. Our son literally pushes me to, Papa, are you going to the meeting? Okay, say hi to Uncle Jimmy. Papa, are you going to go downstairs? Okay, say Facebook Live. These are things that only happen when I do my part of the bargain and I tell my son that he is the priority for me. So I share this information with you, not to get all emotional on you or anything of that nature, but because I do see a lot of families that would either get into fights, arguments, and compromise their personal relationships, or get into non-income producing activities because their mindset is not in the right place. They're frustrated, they're angry, they're mad, and then they don't even operate their business the right way. And they end up quitting. Now they just rob themselves and their children from generational wealth. It is no longer a matter of balance. Now everything is out of whack. I'm curious to hear, how are you creating not balance, but happy, present availability for you and for your family? How are you maintaining your personal life and business without creating any conflicts in any way, shape, or form? As an entrepreneur, I'm here to tell you there is no such thing as balance. You're either an entrepreneurial family or you're not. It's like if you're an artist. You take your family with you and you travel and they're backstage and you experience life. They're all part of the music game. Or an athlete, travel team. It's the norm. So what are you doing to make sure that you are not compromising your business? Are you time blocking? And do you have the right priorities in place? If you do not, sorry to say, you're predicted to fail. If you are not, I'm sorry to say, I'm willing to bet on you, you're not going to make it too far. And if you do, you're going to make so little that you're just reinvesting back in your product, service, or offer. And I say that with love. I say that with respect. Because at the end of the day, why are we working so hard? If it's not for our families and our generations to come after us, you think it's for the materialistic things? When you die, it stays behind you. You're no longer in this world. It doesn't matter what you had. But what you live, well, that matters. I hope that this message has given you the right perspective, the right understanding, the right formula to be the best version for yourself. Because I promise you, if you are the best version for yourself, you naturally, organically, without compromising anything, will find yourself an influencer, will find yourself a master trainer, a happy, motivational speaker. Those things do not happen just because you have a talent. They happen because you're happy. They happen because you are at peace. I will be doing more of these episodes, talking about family and talking about things that are personal that would make a difference. Because every single person that has ever quit their business, they didn't quit it because of the business. They quit it because something at home was compromised. Whether it was financial, whether it was personal, whether it was a spousal, it was always something that has actually happened at home. And I don't want that to happen to you. I hope that this episode helped you understand a little bit better how to have an entrepreneurial life and be the best version that you can be for your family. Until next time, Ali Mehdaoui will be a dad of 2 children instead of just 1 baby boy. And I cannot wait for the world to meet my beautiful daughter, our beautiful daughter, Isabel Teresa Mehdaoui. And I'm sure I'll be sharing it a whole lot with you. Leave me some love. Leave me some comments if this helped you out in any way, shape, or form. And until next time, this is your strategic partner in another episode. Peace out, everybody.